Losing my mom to cancer at 24 has left me broken. I feel abandoned, scared, insecure, and a lot of times angry. I became so numb. One day I looked myself in the mirror and I didn't recognize who was staring back at me. Drowning myself in alcohol and drugs was not helping. There has to be another way out of this dark hole I have found myself in yet again. See, I was raised in a very religious household. Church, church, church. When my mother was in her final days, the church was nowhere to be found. I remember my mom calling our pastor at the time, who will remain nameless, for prayer. You wouldn't believe the 2-second bootleg prayer that he gave her. She was lost. She was hopeless. I remember looking into her eyes and just seeing fear, worry, and doubt. From that day on, I promised myself that would never be me. This was the 4th time the cancer has came back, and this time it spread throughout her body. She had so much faith in God. I remember her saying, "If God wants me here, He will heal me Himself." What they forgot to tell you about losing a parent is sometimes the pain feels so unbearable. Sometimes death seems so peaceful due to the pain and heartache you face every day that you open your eyes. Losing your mother, the woman who has sacrificed 9 months of life to carry you, the woman who pushed you out into this portal, is indescribable pain. You will never be the same. It took me 3 years to accept that fact. Tisha, stop chasing that old version of you. She is forever gone. As I went to grief therapy when I was carrying my daughter, my therapist gave me a healthy exercise that I am now sharing with you. Take a piece of paper and pen and write a letter to your deceased loved one. Express to them how you truly feel. Please don't hold anything back. Do this exercise as many times as you need. What has helped me along this healing journey is yoga, exercise, journaling, meditating, crystals, and becoming one with this beautiful universe. I have learned everything I need is inside of me to heal. Yes, a lot of death has surrounded me the past 6 years of my life. A lot. However, that does not mean that my life is over, and it took me so long to realize that. Neither is yours. There is purpose inside your pain. I love you. Happy healing. Grand rising, my beautiful soul. I am so sorry if you're watching this video and if this has happened to you, losing a parent. I am sending my love, my light, and my peace. Y'all, I'm still trying to find peace, but I'm going to send a little bit of peace that your girl has found, okay? What they forgot to tell you about losing a parent, especially a mother, is the monumental things that you go through in your life, like buying your first car or having a baby, getting married, buying a house, just anything that you really go through in life. It really don't hit the same. I had my baby over a year ago, and my husband's mom was there, and I'm so thankful for her. But when I tell y'all, I was really mentally going through it because I was wishing that my mom was there. I don't have any sisters. And I'm the youngest sibling. What they forgot to tell you is, in life, it's going to be moments to where you wish you can call and tell your parent, tell your mother, tell your father what you accomplished. And you're not going to be able to. You're going to be able to do it in spirit, but not in the physical. So that's what they forgot to tell you. It's okay to be upset and sad. Like, this weekend, y'all, I just been having like a lot of triggers. Like, just even seeing women who have their mom in their life while they are pregnant is a trigger for me. And that is happening around me and family. So it's just like I'm really having to go within and really find the healing that I need. When you lose a parent at such a young age, it's so easy to feel like, why me? Woe is me. Life sucks. I'm not gonna lie, virtual bestie. Sometimes I really wake up and feel like I'm in a nightmare. And my situation is different. Like, I just lost my uncle a couple months ago. I am dealing with grief overall. But of course, the main thing that rings in my head every morning as soon as my eyes open is that your mother is no longer here. What they forgot to tell you is it's okay to be upset and sad. Listen, do not let anybody make you feel bad for having triggers or for feeling a little jealous or for feeling hurt and angry. But I just want to let you know that anger doesn't do anything for you in this situation. It just makes it more difficult for you to enjoy the rest of your life that you do have to live, which is going to be a beautiful life. I know when you deal with grief sometimes, it can feel like your world is really never going to hit the same. Because I've recently, and I am still pulling myself out of that thinking process. I just want to let you know whatever you think is what is going to happen in your life. So dealing with grief, please try to just start working on the way that you think, the way that you perceive the world, because that is where the change and the healing is going to come. I love you. You know, it's so crazy how death and grief can make us view this precious life so differently. Losing a parent makes you realize how precious life really is. As I sit back and reminisce on me and my mother's memories, I realize how blessed I was, and I never had a clue. I never fathomed the thought of her not existing in my universe. I mean, how could I? She was my everything. No matter how you are feeling, my love, better days are ahead, only if you want them to be. After losing a parent, it's so easy to fall into the trap of waiting for someone to come and save you. I'm here to tell you today, you are the savior of your own soul. I'm sending love, healing, and light. We're going to make it to the end of the tunnel where there's the bright light. What they forgot to tell you about losing a parent is it's so freaking lonely at times. At times you just be like, my BFF, my ultimate BFF is no longer on this earth. All of the lonely moments that you feel sometimes, especially if you don't have like a big family or a close family dynamic, what they forgot to tell you is when you lose a parent, it's like an empty hole. And I feel like death in general leaves holes in people's hearts, but when you lose a parent, it's like the ultimate empty black hole. And your heart is going to want to fill it, but just make sure that you're filling it with things that will benefit you. That's my greatest advice. Fill it with things that are going to benefit you. Because it's so easy to get lost in things that give you a temporary high, a temporary fix, but sometimes doing those things just digs a deeper hole. And that's what I realized with just smoking weed and drinking alcohol, like I said, and just, you know, doing things that people do to try to feel better. And there's nothing wrong with smoking low weed, because girl, there's nothing wrong with that. Or if you want to drink occasionally, being a social drinker. But when it comes excessive to where you feel like you need that substance to survive or function, that's when it's a problem. But it's so easy to pick up something that will take away the temporary pain. Just be careful with that, because it can get so dark so quick. And sometimes when you're already dealing with depression and grief, the worst thing to do is to add extra stuff on top. What they forgot to tell you about losing a parent is sometimes you'll find yourself not reaching out for the help that you need because you don't want to seem too needy. Talk to somebody, okay? Lean on somebody and understand you are not alone. About losing a parent is sometimes you may find yourself being angry with your parent, just wondering, how could you leave me? Why did you want to leave me? it's just not fair. And it's okay to feel angry because a big part of us feels abandoned. We feel neglected, and we just feel like it's just unfair. Like, we all thought that we were going to have our parents to help us become parents, to see our kids being born, to walk us down the aisle, or to be a part of our biggest accomplishments in life. It's okay to be angry, and it's okay to express to your parent, I am mad, I am hurt, I am upset because I feel like you left me. What has helped me on this journey is becoming more spiritual. Like I said in the beginning of the video, I was taught to be religious all my life, but the religion was not helping me in my darkest moments. It just wasn't. I had to become spiritual, hunty. I had to become more spiritual. The more I have tapped into spirituality, the more I realized that we are all energy beings and we are spirits having human experiences. That's all this life is. So I have noticed that my mom have given me signs. Like, it might be a street name with the name Carolyn, which is her name, or it might be like a car that drives by that is the same type of car she had. It's just certain things to where I feel her presence in a way. And I'm still hurting. It's a lot that I have to communicate with her and God, and it's a lot of forgiving that I have to do with my mom. And that's another thing that they forget to tell you about losing a parent. If there's any trauma there or hurt, you still have to process that hurt after your parent is gone. And I believe it's more difficult to do that because I feel like sometimes we have so many questions left unanswered, so many thoughts, so many what ifs, so many why, so many how comes. And I truly believe that we can still get our answers. It's just not going to be in the typical way that we thought, but we can still get our answers. This is a long journey. It's a forever ending journey. Like, sometimes I sit back and look at my daughter and just be like, you had a mom that would have really been crazy over you. Like the questions that you want answers to. It's just like, how can you get them? That is another thing that they forgot to tell you. As I was saying yesterday, when I was talking about just being careful of indulging in things that can harm you to try to ease the pain. Because yes, it may ease the pain for a quick moment, but it always comes back. And what I've noticed is when the pain comes back, sometimes it comes back 1,000 times harder. So in my spiritual journey, I just learned that we are all one. And just because our parents aren't here, we are still a major part of them. We are them in a sense and form, because they, especially our mother, our mother, we lived in her for 9 months and she pushed us out. So I am my mother. I am a part of my mother, the good and the bad. And whenever I do see myself feeling lonely, I just go within, because I know she is here. She's here. And I know that she's, sad that she can't physically be here with me, but she's still here. And I think that's what makes death and grief bearable. You might not believe in God, you might not believe in religion, but just find what works for you. Find what gives you comfort and ease, and go with that, despite what anybody thinks about it. This is your life, this is your experience, and a lot of my spirituality don't really go with my Christian religion, and that was a whole thing I'm going to do a whole nother video about. But the more I have tapped into spirituality, the more calm and peace that has entered me, and I still have a long way of healing to go. But finding myself relying more on God and realizing that I am not here alone, even though I feel so lonely. Oh my God, I have so many days where I feel lonely. If you only knew. But just understanding that I am not alone. You are not alone. My advice would be lean on God more, lean on, whoever or whatever you believe in more, lean on your friends that are here, your family that is here more, because they love you. And a lot of times I think we need to hear that. That's God put the people around us to help us when we are weak, to hold us up when we feel like we can't stand up no more, to push us when we feel like giving up. So this is my video on what they forgot to tell you about losing a parent. If my loves want another part 2, or if you really want me to go more in depth on what I did, how I did it, and how I am doing it to help heal, I am definitely going to enroll in therapy more, because I went for about 2 or 3 months. It wasn't a long span. It wasn't half of what I needed and what I need still. But like I said, if you want a part 2 to this video, comment down below. Let me know. Comment down below your story. I want to know y'all stories. This is a no judge free zone. This is a zone of peace, love, and prosperity. I am praying for you. If you need to talk one-on-one, I am here. My DMs are open. Tisha Rozelle on Instagram, on TikTok, Facebook, wherever you are. If you need someone to talk to, someone that can relate to you, because you just like, girl, can't nobody relate to me, because all my friends have their parents. Everybody around me has their parents. Oh my God. Why did this bee just fly in the car? And what kind of bee is it? As I am ending this video, as you see, we had a little friend fly in the car. Y'all, this is real life. I can't make this up. I love y'all. I don't know how I'm gonna get him out. Is he dying? Like, is he dying? A little bit of funniness. This is comical, because this is a little bit of funniness during a serious situation. I love y'all. I'm out.